Okay, so you've heard enough from me and about what we do, so I'm very pleased to be able to hand over to Marcus Griffiths from Computer Recyclers, who's the person you've come to hear about from today. Over to you, Marcus.
Oh, thank you very much, Jill, and yeah, thank you very much for just having me on this webinar first of all. So let me share the screen and we get started. So yeah, can everybody see that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Perfect. So yeah, I'm Marcus from Computer Recyclers UK. We're one of just three ADISA certified IT asset disposition service providers in Wales. I've been doing this for 16 years now. Generally responsible for maintaining and growing Computer Recyclers UK client base, and making sure we're delivering on compliance, covering data security, maximizing revenue generation for customers, minimizing the levels of e-waste, promoting circular economy, promoting environmental sustainability, and achieving social impact through digital inclusion projects, reusing to tackle digital poverty. So I'm hoping today will highlight some of the sort of hidden opportunities with redundant IT, if you weren't already aware, and how we can promote achieving environmental impact, social impact, revenue generation, but without ignoring the importance of data security, because obviously all redundant IT is data bearing. So it's all the reassurances and the importance of that as well. So yeah, little about Computer Recyclers. We're based in Bonnycon and Taff, South Wales. We serve across Wales and England and further afield on the odd occasion. So we actually got a vehicle up in Scotland for the next 3 weeks. We take the responsibility of dealing with data very seriously. That's the absolute core of what we do. So redundant IT generally is data bearing, and so is having the secure processes and logistics and facilities all in place to handle that correctly. And all the certifications across the bottom of the slide there support that. So you've got ADISA there, which is the industry specific standard for what we do. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but I'll try and keep it short so to keep you interested. Yeah, Cyber Essentials, all the ISOs that you would expect, carbon neutral Britain certifications. That's our commitment to reducing carbon emissions, being a net zero organization. And disability confident employer as well. So, bear with me. There's no secret, really, that e-waste is a problem, and this image here, whilst it's a little bit dated, it sort of highlights the levels of it, and at this stage the UK was the second worst, and I think in that introduction from Jill, she had much more sort of better information and probably more current information on sort of the severity of the impact on the environment we're all having when not handling waste correctly. So yeah, UK is one of the worst, but it's great to see that Wales is one of the leaders in actually recycling and handling that waste. So hopefully, as computer recyclers, we are certainly doing everything within that we've got control of, everything within our power to minimize e-waste, to reuse where we can, and to make sure all equipment is disposed of safely and correctly via the correct channels. So first of all, I'll skip through these, but they are important. So data security, when disposing of IT, it's not simply about removing old equipment from your premises. All electrical equipment represents potential risks. So regarding data security, UK GDPR mandates secure data destruction of all data-bearing devices. and data-bearing devices contain sensitive information. So that could be customer records, financial data, employee details, intellectual property, confidential data. So all organizations will have different levels of confidential data. We need to know that's, when you're disposing of that, you need to know it's been done properly. It can lead to data breaches. So, it can't be, don't be scaremongering, but it generally comes with the industry. If it's not done properly, then it can be severe financial, reputational consequences, which I'm sure everybody is aware. The ICO reports that data breaches from inadequate equipment disposal continue to cause significant fines and mandatory breach notifications. So there was an IBM data breach report in 2023, identified an average of $4.5 million. So, that's just sort of highlights the importance of it and making sure we're all doing things correctly. And then the Environment Agency requires proper handling of waste, e-waste, correct handling of e-waste. And then our certifications demand the documented disposal processes with full traceability, and they verify the proof of compliance for all of our customers. Customers eventually receive a comprehensive IT asset report of everything was collected, and everything is backed by the certifications that we hold. One of the key certifications is this one. So it's ADISA. ADISA is the ICO approved. It's the only ICO approved standard for UK GDPR compliance when disposing of redundant IT. And it's the main one we are very proud to hold. So we are just one of three in Wales. There's a number in the UK. We're one of just three in Wales to hold this certification. It's not an easy one to get, and it's certainly not an easy one to maintain. But we have ever since 2010. But in 2022, it became the ICO approved standard. So the credibility has increased significantly, and it's really like shaping how IT asset disposal needs to happen. So yeah, we are certified to that. It's a 200 criteria standard broken into 4 sections. It covers GDPR compliance, it covers risk management, it covers the physical securities, and the non-data aspects as well, such as the remarketing and recycling of IT, which I'll eventually get to, and I appreciate this presentation this webinar will be more focused on. But that standard gives everyone the peace of mind that it's been done correctly. Part of that standard is this. Again, I'll keep it brief, but it's a data impact assurance level. You shorten it to call it DIAL, and you have a DIAL 1, 2, or 3. So every client we onboard, there's an agreement in place, obviously, so a data processing agreement, and it's backed up. It's insisted by the ICO approved standard to ensure that customers, so yourselves as clients, if you're the ones handing over the redundant IT, are acknowledging what you're handing over. So it's a very short questionnaire, but it generally be completed by someone within data security, and they would understand the levels of data on the redundant equipment that you're handing over, the sort of information that would have. But it really is a short 2-minute questionnaire. It provides you with a certificate, and it confirms to yourselves and us the level of service that you require. And a basic example would be, do you need 1 driver or 2 drivers on your collections? Do you need your reports within 15 working days, 20 working days, 30 working days? The levels of data wipe that you require. Do you need a clear basic level? Do you need a purge more in-depth level? So, if you are dial 1, 2, or 3, it makes a difference to the level of service that you need, and that's just something to mention. You get a comprehensive asset report, so everything that's collected so like I mentioned, it's all handled correctly, safely, responsibly, and when it goes through our process, the result is a very comprehensive asset report. So it details everything that was collected, asset numbers, serial numbers, product types. Was it reusable? Wasn't it? Why wasn't it? There really leaves no stone unturned. They're very detailed, and it's all sort of over 16 years of Computer Recyclers doing this, it's sort of built from that and from meeting standards such as ADISA, who really are the driving force, or provide us with the road to know what information needs to be captured, and it essentially captures everything. Data destruction itself. So we provide both options. So data destruction is you can erase it for reuse, or you can destroy it for disposal. So our and part of this group, we're encouraging reuse. We really do encourage reuse. We promote reuse as much as we can. It's fully within our intention to reuse it first, and if not, we will dispose. So wiping, being able to data erase the equipment to the relevant levels. So we've got standards which we have to meet, which is NIST 888, the IEEE. That's the current government approved standards for data erasure, and that stipulates the different methods of data erasure needed on different products. So if it's a laptop with an SSD storage, there'll be one type of wipe. If it's a mobile phone with flash storage, then it'll be a different type of wipe. So if you're a network switch, then again it's another type of wipe, but it all meets the NIST 888 and IEEE 283 standards. That is the current standard, and we always make sure we are, in regards to data destruction, doing it to the current standards. So yeah, we'll erase when we can. If it fails erasure, then we've got a shredder. So it's literally a bit of a beast. There's an image on the slide there of our truck. That's got a shredder built onto it, which enables us to be mobile as well. That's currently what we're up in Scotland for the next 3 weeks doing. But it's also used on site. So if it fails the wipe, then it's acknowledged, it's put safely, locked away, stored for shredding, and within the time frames needed, which is 20 working days of being collected, it is destroyed down to 6mm shred size. So at that point, the data is unrecoverable, and obviously the opportunity for reuse is gone. That is just the storage media that's come out of the device, however. So if a hard drive is taken off a laptop, that's shred, but you've still got the laptop and the components within that laptop that could be reused. So if you've got another hard drive, you can put it into that laptop, or if the laptop has failed, you can have the motherboard in there. You've got the RAM in there. There's still components that can be reused. So it doesn't just end there. But yeah, so that's data destruction, and the logos there are the methods of data destructions we use and the products we use to use it, and they're all certified, so independently certified softwares and products to meet the government standards is what we use and will only ever use. So reuse. This is what we're all about. So whenever we make a collection for you, redundant IT, it's always with the aim and intention to reuse as much as we can, and that's to support the environment. First of all, it's also to support to provide social impact, so supporting local communities, supporting people. That's what's always motivated me. Social impact is by helping people in need. So we've always supported digital inclusion, and we got a scheme called Get Online at Home, which is a digital inclusion initiative. It provides affordable refurbished computers, but although it can be purchased at low cost, and we'll work with projects with local authorities, housing associations, organisations, charities, small or large. We'll work with them on projects that they're doing, so they might have funding to help other people. We've done a lot with local authorities, charities in particular. We do a lot with small to medium-sized charities throughout Wales and England, helping them get access to computers, which would be funded through other means. We have partnerships in place which will fund the equipment for them. And we also have partnerships with the likes of Digital Poverty Alliance. So another, you can see their logo there. Very proud to partner with them. They're doing some really good work to tackle digital poverty. They've got an aim to end digital poverty by 2030. So whilst that's ambitious, we are all for it, and we will support them as much as we can. And that is where redundant IT is coming into us. We will reuse as much as we can, and we will donate as much as we can. And the Digital Poverty Alliance will identify who who that is being donated to. And over the past 12 months, I think it's around 2,000 devices have been donated. So that is redundant IT. We are receiving. There's been pilots with central government, but also other organisations in partnership with this charity. And the whole concept of it is to reuse and donate back. So that the whole process, it comes into us. We're making sure it's going through the ADISA certified level process, UK GDPR compliant, plus all the other compliance comes around with the environmental responsibilities as well. So making sure that's done, making sure all the reporting is done. The reporting will identify and clearly communicate what was reusable and what was not, what can be donated and what can't. And what can be donated, the charity tell us where to send it to, and we'll send it to them. So we'll send it to them, we'll warrant it for 12 months, full support. And so the recipient is somebody in desperate need of a computer. That could be a carer, that could be a family, that could be a student. Then it's helping. So we're very, very proud of that. We break reuse down into because it can get quite complex. So we break it into three categories. Essentially, category one, if it's come in, we've done the reporting on it. It's been data wiped. It's working well. It's cosmetically good and it's fully functional. So we've got a 22-point quality check system. So once it's passed this data erasure and we've clearly focused on the reuse and refurbishment, it will go through a thorough check. There's nothing not checked, because this is going to end up with an end user. So it's going to end up with an end user. We're going to warrant it. We're going to support it. It's within everybody's interest that is perfectly working. And obviously, if you're in desperate need, you need something that's working, and not being supplied something otherwise. And a bit of a side note on that, I think in terms of the attention to refurbished products has really grown as well. I think there used to be a bit of a, or maybe they still are, but I think it's definitely growing with the trust in refurbished and the level of detail that the testing process can go into now, compared to perhaps a few years ago, and the softwares that are available to provide the testing, such as the Blanco software that we're using and the NovaFox that we're using for switches. It really helps to identify if there's an issue or not. But we take pride in the human approach as well. So whilst we use the software, the 22-point check is a human touch. And so we have got trained technicians performing what can be carried out for the software, but also performing what can't be carried out by the software. And a good example would be, software might say the speaker is working because they can identify the sound coming out of the speaker. But in actual fact, it could be crackly. And so you'd have to report that as a crackly speaker, which, you can repair that speaker, or you can find a recipient who perhaps is not interested in the speaker. When it comes to digital poverty, so they're still happy to receive it with the fact that they won't have sound. That's just an example. But it's been identified. We know about it, and if we're warranting it, then we are fully aware of how that device has arrived, or we'll choose not to, and it'll go through category 2. So yeah, category 1 is essentially end user retail equipment, whether it's being purchased for digital inclusion projects to help people, or whether it's been donated to help people. It's an end user device that can be used, and it would be used to supply the Get One at Home initiative that I mentioned. Category 2 is so it's cosmetically poor. It could they could have heavily large dents, large scratches, cracks, missing keys, stuff which is just cosmetically poor, or functionally not right. So I just mentioned the speakers, that would be seen as something which is not functionally perfect. So it could go into a category 2 if we haven't got an end user who is happy to receive it, and that example being digital poverty, when you're helping people in desperate need. So it can be repaired. It's definitely working. It's just not great. But with a bit of care, skill, and attention, it can be made good. So that is what category 2 is. And one of the main focuses for us, when we're dealing with clients, is to generate revenue. So if you're giving us redundant IT, you're giving us 100 laptops, and you're interested in what revenue you're going to get back for that, then obviously it's within our responsibility is to reuse as much as we can and to raise revenue where we can, and that revenue is then shared with you as the client. So it's a bit of a win-win all round, So we've reduced e-waste, we've raised revenue, and we've helped people who need help. So yeah, we got a network of trusted buyers again built up over the years. They are trusted refurbishers, resellers, repairers, UK based. We only deal with UK, and it will the category 2 equipment it generally get built up in bulk. So you won't be doing individual units to these people. You'll be doing pallets at a time. But we are getting sort of the maximum reuse out of that device. It's going to somebody who's going to get even better reuse and make sure that goes to an end user. And in terms of revenue generation, we're going to get the value that cosmetically or functionally poor piece of equipment is still worth. And that's all transparent on the reporting that our customers receive as well. So if a device has been reused, there's different action codes, and you can see what action code the device has been given and what revenue that is therefore generated. And then category 3 is it's working, but it really is costly or difficult to make that suitable for an end user. And I'll refer to the definition at the top. Reuse is an operation by which whole items of equipment or parts or components that are not waste are used again for the same purpose for which they were conceived. So category 3 is it's working, but it really is difficult to get that suitable for an end user. That could, but what we would do with that is strip it down to component level. So it's got working components in there, which can be taken out and can be reused. So, and if we can reuse it directly, we will. If we've got trade partners who can reuse it, we will. But then, if I go on to the next slide, we've got one of our key partners, which I imagine many of you are aware of, is the Royal Mint Precious Metal Recovery. We are fortunate; they are 5 minutes down the road from us. So, the chances of that is amazing, really, because it's been groundbreaking for the UK, what the Royal Mint are able to do with their precious metal recovery. So if we get equipment which is working, but is really difficult to actually make use for an end user, we will strip it down to component level, and the boards within that IT and the RAM, for example, then that we will strip that out, and it will be passed down to the Royal Mint Precious Metal Recovery, who will put it through their process, and I'm going to try and play a short video in a second, as long as I can make that work. But it's the Royal Mint's own promotional video, which I think saves me explaining. But essentially, it's recovered. It's done in Llantrys and Rhondda South Wales. It's groundbreaking for the UK, and they will extract the precious metals and they will turn that into luxurious items such as jewellery, which is also sold in the UK. So it hasn't been reused for its original purpose, but we have saved that component and we have passed it down, and we have passed it on to our waste management partner. We have many waste management partners, but I'm using Royal Mint as a good example because a lot of it, a lot of IT has obviously got boards, RAM with precious metals. So a lot of it is, does end up going down there and being recovered. So let me try and play this, if you just bear with me. Apologies, just bear with me. I knew this was going to happen.
We've got the video, but no sound, have we?
Yeah. Sound.
All good.
Yeah.
The United Kingdom is the second largest contributor per capita of electronic waste. Globally, the world produces an estimated 50 million tons of electronic waste every year, which is set to grow to 82 million tons by 2030, resulting in electronic waste being one of the fastest growing waste streams in the world. To support our journey to becoming leaders in sustainable precious metals, we have invested in a multi-million-pound precious metals recovery plant at our 35-acre site in Llantrisson, South Wales. We have partnered with Exir, a Canadian clean tech company, who has developed world-first patented chemistry to selectively extract gold from printed circuit boards at ambient temperatures. Drawing on our 1,100 years of coin production and engineering experience, this new plant allows us to safely retrieve and recycle precious metals from printed circuit boards, offering a local and more sustainable solution for this growing problem. Our process is fundamentally different to others. It starts by managing the printed circuit boards and sorting them into various pieces. We then apply the most appropriate treatment route to maximize the recovery of the incoming materials. Fractions containing gold are processed using Exir's patented chemistry, and the gold can then be used to create brand new products. The post-processing phase ensures we separate the plastic elements so we can treat them appropriately and recycle them into new building materials. This exciting new solution tackles the challenge of electronic waste in a more sustainable way, helping to lower our carbon footprint. Additionally, it reduces our reliance on mined materials, demonstrating the positive impact of a more circular economy as we transform the way we work for a more sustainable future.
So we're very proud of the our partnership with the Royal Mint, and again the fact that in Llantrisson, the thousands of wasted miles that would otherwise be happening, because if it wasn't for the Royal Mint's new facility, it would be these boards would be shredded and transported to other parts of the EU or Asia for smeltering. So, to take it 5 minutes down the road, delivered by us, and have it have the precious metals recovered is something we're very happy about. There's obviously other waste management partners, and all clients that we onboard, with the agreements that we have, they have a full list of all waste management partners. So obviously there's other waste within redundant IT. But I won't go into that. But there is a full list of waste management partners. They're all approved by the Environment Agency, Natural Resources Wales, all the required permits for the products that they are receiving from us. And then finally, it's just a case study. So very happy to support the Sinclair Group. So I'm sure you're all aware of who the Sinclair Group are.
They're on the call as well, Marcus.
Oh, fantastic! So yeah, if Clive is on the call, and but there's a quote from him there. So, but if he wants to jump on and say anything, just this is my last slide. So, but yeah, it's a really good example. They're a local Welsh organisation trying to do good for the environment, tackling sustainability. So they approached. I think we were introduced, and there was an obvious realization with the opportunity that could that was there with their redundant IT. So we've covered 3 collections over the within the last 12 months. So throughout 2025, 2026, there's been 3 collections. The stats are there. So there's been 7.5 tons of redundant IT diverted from landfill. So everything we collect, we've got a 0 landfill policy. Nothing goes to landfill. So 7.5 tons of redundant IT collected. Over 1,000 devices securely and certified data destroyed. So the group have had full reporting, certifications for all data bearing devices that have been collected and gone through our process. 4.5 tons of it was safely recycled with precious metals recovered by the Royal Mint. 3 tons of it was redundant equipment rescued, reused, refurbished. So that category 1, category 2 that I referred to earlier. So that's then going out helping people in digital poverty, families, schools, people in need of equipment, but couldn't possibly go out and get new. So they've either been donated it or purchased it at low cost. So we get 3 tons of that from the St. Clair Group from the 3 collections collected over the past 12 months. 147,600 kilograms of carbon saved through reuse. So through research, there's an average of 300 kilograms of carbon saved per device. So for every device that is reused, when you compare that to the manufacture of new, it results in 300 kilograms of carbon being saved. So when you look at everything that's been reused from the St. Clair Group, and you work out the 300 kilograms per device, 147,600 kilograms of carbon saved, which is equivalent to 565,000 miles in a diesel car. And when speaking with the St. Clair Group, and we did a bit on World Environment Day, if you average a car to a diesel car to do 200,000 miles, then yeah, that's a few diesel cars taken off the road. And I think I should have referred to it earlier on one of the other slides. But I think overall, as an organisation, I think it's the equivalent of 95 diesel cars being taken off the road over the past 12 months. But it's, to have this example with the St. Clair Group is just something I thought would be worth sharing with other Welsh organisations. We're very proud to be supporting the St. Clair Group, and there's a quote there from Clive, who can hopefully jump on to back that up. So just to confirm that it was him that said that, and it's helping them, it's helping us, it's helping the environment, it's helping people through digital poverty. So it's just all good. There is a case study there. Obviously, won't go into that now. There's a link to the case study, so I think these slides will be shared, and there's a detailed case study about how us and the St. Clair Group have come together and how that has helped achieve environmental and social impact.
And of course, Marcus, we've replaced those 5 diesel cars with fully electric cars, of course.
Of course, yes. Yeah, of course.
I'm probably more use, Marcus, if there are any questions. So I'll just sit on the call now in case there's any questions from the remainder of the audience.
Absolutely, yes. That is the end of the presentation. So yeah, if there's any questions,
if everybody's welcome to, you're welcome to turn your cameras back on so that we can have a more interactive discussion. If anybody's got any questions.
Apologies that the IT didn't work to start, Jill.
That's quite all right, Clive. I know you well enough by now.
They're all going to end up with Marcus anyway.
I think Ruth's put a point about the legal requirement for all workplaces in Wales to separate their WEEE for recycling. So it's great to see a service provider who can help with these collections. So thank you. Thank you for that, Ruth.
Absolutely. And obviously, there may well be, obviously there's Clive, and there may well be other organisations on this call. I haven't seen who's on this call yet, but if we already serve you, fantastic. If we don't, then yeah, please. So the slides will be shared. My contact details will be there, and obviously, I'll be more than happy to see what we can do with you.
That's interesting. From Kaleem, company is doing a great job, but I think the name is a bit misleading in the contents of circular economy because the core of the business is not recycling; it's about reuse.
It's all reuse is reuse is 100% the main incentive here. But if it can't be reused, it will be recycled. But yeah, it's done through waste management partners, and it just ensures that what can be reused is reused. So before you just determine it as to be recycled, there's going to be a lot of waste there. So what our service provides as an IT asset disposition service provider, it means the data is handled correctly. It means that if it can be reused, it will. And then at that point, we deem it as the waste, not yourselves. So we always collect with an asset transfer note rather than a waste transfer note, for example. And that means that we have the opportunity and we will decide if it's waste or not. So although it's waste for the organisation, classing it as redundant, it's not waste for a family who are in need of a computer that is actually still working.
Yeah. And we will be sharing the slides afterwards. So Peter, you've got a quick question?
Yeah, what's the average number of
like PCs you collect from a business, because we were a small to medium-sized company, and now since the closure of primary steelmaker in Port Talbot, we're a small company. So the way we probably only go through 1 or 2 a year, something like that. Is it cost effective for us, or?
And if you did you say you're in Port Talbot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, our office is in Leith, but I'm based in Port Talbot.
Yeah, so how we would play that one is, there's no, we don't like to put any sort of minimum restrictions on it. It just needs to make sense. So we collect from East Port Talbot often. So if you were to put if you were to be in touch and we used to understand your requirements, we would sort of book you in with a route that we've got going on in Neath, and they are sort of every few weeks. So as long as you were able to wait, we would just book you in with when our vehicles were in the area.
I wonder whether it's because obviously cost comes into it, and if you collect in it bulk, the cost to the people supplying it is probably cheaper per PC than it would be for us.
Absolutely. We like to be seen to help. So when you got like 1 or 2 pieces and we are in the area, then we will just do it for you, and you'll know it's been done properly. Obviously, if you was to say you're in Scotland, you had 1 or 2, then we just would say, look, we can't really do that without for it to make sense. But it's another good reason to keep it local. We want to do as much as we can locally in Wales, and especially the surrounding areas of where we're based in Rhondda and Taff. So we cover a whole load of local authorities in South Wales, South East Wales, and down for some of the South West Wales as well. And we have other contracts which cover all of Wales. So we really do. Our vans do get around in Wales. So if there's small requirements, as long as you can wait until we're in the area. Equipment is always segregated in terms of as part of the standards. If we're doing multiple collections from different customers, it's all segregated. It's in its own crates. And if you're like a dial 1 customer requiring a dial 1 level of service, for example, this is a bit overkill, but that would allow for multiple collections. So yeah, please get in touch and we'll be able to help you out.
Okay, thanks.
All right, no worries.
Question for Perla, but I think you just answered that, Marcus, about is there a limit in size kind of item that you would repurpose or recycle? I think you've just answered that, yes. So
yeah, so it's it's all gone to where are you? What have you got? Are we going to be in the area? And we'll just have a conversation and hopefully hopefully there's usually a solution where we will be in the area, and we'll just work with you on when that will be.
is there anything else that you wanted, Perla, or was that it?
That was it. Yeah, and if I could have like a contact detail after this so that I can kind of get in touch for the requirements and stuff, that'd be great.
What we'll do is we'll share the slides with everybody, and then we'll share Marcus's contact details as well. I think it was on the end and was on your slides anyway, but we'll share Marcus's contact details.
It was. I seemed to jump past it and then couldn't get back to it. So I do thought my last slide was my contact details, but yeah. If the presentation is shared, the contact details are there. So please, feel free to drop me an email or give me a call.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Anybody else have any other questions?
If anything pops up, at some other time, you get a thought and you think, oh, that'll be handy. Please I like to think I'm approachable. So just drop me an email or give us a call, and we're here to help.
Question from Sylvia: do you collect all or just IT items that have data?
We are permitted to collect all what I say is our business is focused on IT. That's really where we specialize, and where the opportunities for we got technicians to really make the most from IT. But we are permitted to collect all and we do have waste management partners who we can downstream equipment to, for as long as it's electrical. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, if not, just want to thank Marcus on all of your behalf. A very interesting session. Hopefully it's got you thinking about what you're doing with your and how it could actually be repurposed. And and actually keeping it all within South Wales as well, which is saving all of those miles.
Yeah, it's amazing really how we got the Royal Mint in South Wales, us in South Wales, and the other two ADISA certified members. They're all in South Wales. It's a bit crazy. It's a bit funny how it all seems to be
It's just
happening.
forward-thinking Welsh people,
Yeah,
Marcus.
yeah. So
Okay, thank you all very much. Thank you for your time, but please get in touch if you want any further information from us.
thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.